No, for a career in public relations.
George and Betsy are getting a divorce too.
As of when?
As of yesterday, George told me last night.
You see, everybody's getting divorced these days. It's getting so that when you tell someone you've been married to the same person for 22 years, they look at you like you're demented.
I noticed that myself. Between the two of us, I stopped telling people I'm married to the same person for 22 years.
Then what the hell do you tell them?
I usually say you're my second wife.
That's your fantasy, to have a second wife. You're still living with your first wife and you're dreaming of your second wife.
Oh, Edie, that's not what it...
Sense of this. What's the sense? Why are we playing like this? You know I'm a misfit. You know I was born too early to be independent, too late to be a domestic. Go ahead, get rid of me so you can have your second wife. Go ahead, jump on me, kick me. Go ahead, Gus, do your dirty work.
No, okay, you did it this time.
It's over. The party's over. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I don't know why I don't have the courage. Gus, don't go. Please. Please don't go. There's something that I have to tell you.
What is it? You ought to be ashamed of yourself carrying on like this. What is it?
Yesterday I was so lonely and so depressed that I went to see the regional president of Suicides Anonymous.
The regional president of
Suicides Anonymous, Mr. Marsh. He's an insurance agent. He lives on 2 acres in Scarsdale. You should see him, Gus. The man's tried to kill himself 19 times. He has scars on his wrists, he has rope burns on his neck, and he has a huge empty hole right here in his head.
You wasn't,
Wasn't I? I was. But he talked me out of it.
How'd he do that?
He took me to lunch at a French restaurant.
He what?
I had rack of lamb, sauteed cauliflower, and French pastries for dessert. I was in 7th heaven.
Edie, if I ever find you went out with him again, I'm gonna break every bone in your body. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear. It's clear, but I can't go on like this anymore, Gus. If I could make it on my own, I would have walked out on you years ago. I would have walked out, but I don't know how. Dr. Hagelshin said it. Women of my generation don't know how to walk. We're not ambulatory.
Come on, cut it out, will you? You don't have to cry. Edie, cut it out. Okay? Oh, okay. If it'll make you feel any better, I'll do the exercises on that stupid recorder.
You'll do Dr. Oleowski's exercises with me?
I'll do it. It's no big deal.
And you won't change your mind. You're not gonna...
I said I'll do it, and I'll do it. Don't make me lose my temper, Edie.
I won't. No more. We have to do everything without exception. Francine says that's the only way it works. Okay. Promise?
Promise.
To your original positions, please. I now ask the wife and husband to stand side by side. Place your hands flatly on your heads. Tantra teaches us how to free our bodies of inhibition and repression. Toward that goal, we will now do the free-form pelvic rotation exercise with control and awareness. Refrain from intimacy. Both husband and wife will now bend the knees slightly forward. In tempo, throw the pelvis area to the left, to the rear, to the right, and as far forward as possible. Now, face each other. Here we go. Together now, pelvis left, rear, right, then forward. To the left, rear, to the right, and forward. To the left, rear, to the right, and forward. To the left, rear, to the right, and forward. And stop. Hands at sides. To accommodate the modern Western couple, I have adapted the tantric rituals to suit our own lifestyle and culture. The essence, however, remains the same. The wife should now seat herself comfortably. I now ask that the husband dance for the wife in any manner he desires, delighting in the movement and freedom of his body, displaying his physical self for the wife's pleasure.
I make it go him on the leg to my
And stop. The husband should now seat himself comfortably. The wife will now dance for the husband in any manner that she desires, delighting in the movement and freedom of her body, displaying her physical self for the husband's pleasure.
I make it go him on the leg to my
And stop. I now ask the husband to sit on the floor, legs spread in the shape of an open nutcracker. I now ask the wife to sit within the defined area between the husband's outspread legs, and that the spinal column of both husband and wife be in a line with the center of the earth and the highest reaches of the heavens. Imagine yourself in a meadow beneath the leafy arms of a chestnut tree. Enjoy the presence, the nearness of each other. I now ask the husband to place the fingers of his left hand on the left side of the wife's forehead. Stroke gently, gently. Now place the fingers of the right hand on the right side beneath the wife's chin. Stroke gently, gently. The husband will now remove the left hand from the wife's forehead and press it to the wife's left breast. Through the tips of your fingers, become aware of the pleasurable sensations that lie dormant in the texture and protuberances of the wife's body. Now place your right hand on the wife's right breast and allow your left hand to slide over the stomach and up and down the wife's thighs.
Gus, you were right. That guy's a wacko. A first-class wacko. I should have listened to you. We should just talk out our problems.
I'm not talking out any problems. But you put me through the ringer before to get me to do what's on there. Now you're telling me you don't want to do it?
I was wrong. Can I be wrong?
Well, you could be wrong, but you're not making an idiot out of me.
I'm sorry, Gus, don't. I can't do those things. I have to feel there's something
Oh, okay. You brought the subject up. It's time you heard what's been bothering me for more years than I can remember. And that's your sexual attitude.
Well, what's wrong with my sexual attitude?
Oh, plenty's wrong. You don't know how to enjoy yourself in bed. It should be fun. But with you, it gets too serious.
Well, how does it get too serious?
Did you ever see yourself when you have sex? Did you?
Well, I try to look up at the mirror that you put on the ceiling, but your head keeps getting in the way.
You don't know how to relax, how to let yourself go. You don't make noises. You don't talk.
Well, you know how I was raised. You know I was brought up very strictly. Until recently, I didn't know you were allowed to talk during sex. Until recently, I didn't even know you were allowed to keep a light on.
I tried to teach you, but you didn't want to listen.
Oh, you always made it so impersonal, like it was anybody and not me. That's why I couldn't do the exercises on that CD. I think of sex as a solemn occasion, like a wedding or a funeral.
Oh, it's been like a funeral. That much I can tell you. It doesn't have to be that, Edie. It can be fun. You can talk. You can bounce on the mattress. You can laugh.
You can even laugh when you're having sex.
That's what I keep trying to tell you.
Out loud?
I'm telling you, people laugh when they have sex. Take my word for it.
Well, what kind of laugh is it? Is it a silly laugh like hee, or a regular laugh like
It's a laugh. Any laugh. It could even be a belly laugh. Hey! Yeah.
I don't think I can do that one.
You don't have to do that one. I said you can do anyone you want.
This is good, Gus. Tell me more, in case we decide to have sex in the future.
Okay, yeah. We can talk about it. We're mature, grown-up people. Huh? Why don't you ever get undressed in the bedroom when I'm in the bedroom?
I don't?
Oh, no, you don't. Why do you have to go into the bathroom to get undressed? And then, when I'm not looking, speak. Back into the bedroom, get into bed, pick up a magazine, and make believe you've been sitting in bed all day.
Me?
Yeah, you. I'll tell you one thing more. If they took me down to the police station and 100 naked women were standing in a lineup with their faces covered with black hoods, I couldn't identify your body.
Well, I admit I'm shy about exposing myself.
Edie, to a stranger in the night, you expose yourself. But to a husband of 22 years, all you can do is get undressed and hope for the best.
This is helpful. This is very helpful, Gus. I can do it. I can do everything you're suggesting. As long as I feel there's affection, that it's me, that I know you know it's me. I can get undressed in the bedroom and I can laugh during sex. Is that it?
If you moved around a little when you laughed, it would also be helpful.
I can do that too.
Hey, yeah, that's it. That's exciting. Edie, what I'm getting at is that we don't give up on Dr. Orleansky yet. I've come to the conclusion that man's brilliant. Brilliant.
Gus, that man is off the wall. How can he expect people to make love by the numbers?
Look, he's got us talking about certain things that have been bothering us, and he's showing us different exercises to bring us together.
His voice is creepy. I mean, we're not machines.
I'll be affectionate. I'll know it's you I'm with. Will you try?
I'll try.
We have to do everything he says. Promise?
I promise.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Now I ask the husband and wife to prepare themselves for sexual union. With control and awareness to guide you, you will soon join in a lover's embrace, and the sweet juices of passion will flow from one to the other in a gushing, endless Niagara. The husband will now entwine his left arm around his wife's waist. The wife will lean her cheek on his brawny shoulder. Clasp hands. Stroll arm in arm into the magical forest of each other's desire. Smell the scented fragrance of desire. Listen to the birds of desire singing in the treetops. Control. Control. Do not be impatient. Return to the original position. I now ask both wife and husband to kneel side by side at the altar of love. Hands on thighs, please. The wife and husband seeking to practice the discipline of Tantra in order to achieve everlasting and ever-increasing sexual ecstasy must be one in spirit and body. Between wife and husband, there can be no secret, no betrayal, no hidden remorse to prevent complete union. I now ask that wife and husband unburden themselves of all guilt and deception. If one or the other has had sexual relations outside the bonds of matrimony, a brief indiscretion, a tryst, an affair, an adulterous liaison, now is the time to free oneself of remorse and communicate openly to the loved one. Tear down all barriers that separate the two halves. Rip asunder the fabric of lies and hypocrisy. Let there be
You got his number, honey. That man's not in his right mind. Hey, I got it. Why don't we get dressed, get in the car, and drive up to Connecticut? Okay, cancel it. I know this expensive French restaurant on East 52nd. They got a great Sunday brunch. We can, you know...
You must think I'm the biggest nincompoop in the world.
Now what are you talking about?
I'm not a dope, Gus. Contrary to your opinion of me, I am not a dope.
Where do you find these things to argue about? Will you cut it out?
4 times I call you on one of your famous business trips, and 4 times there's nobody in your room at 3 o'clock in the morning. How do you explain that, smart ass?
Edie, you know I'm a deep sleeper.
I let it ring for 20 minutes.
I didn't hear it, I swear. Don't you remember the night there was a fire in the kitchen and the fire department came and I didn't hear anything?
You were in Chicago the night we had the fire in the kitchen.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't hear anything. But when you called, I was in my hotel room, wasn't I?
You're going to continue to lie. Let's put an end to this masquerade. Dr. Tobias suggested...
Oh, Dr. Tobias? Oh.
He's the psychologist that I see when Dr. Hagelsham's on vacation. He suggested that in view of your habitual lying, that we live in separate parts of the apartment. Divide it up.
Oh, okay. You don't have to go dividing up the apartment. If you have to know, I got myself mixed up with some mafia poker players. We meet in different hotel rooms. That's where you are. That's where I am when you phone me at night. Playing poker with the mafia and doing my best not to win too much money.
Do you want me to walk out? Is that what you want?
I don't know what you want. Whatever I say,
I want to know how many women you've been with.
Edie, for crying out loud, there were no women. I had no reason to ever. One. Only one. She was a Delta reservation clerk in Chicago. That's the truth. Okay, 2. Only 2. She was the sister of the Delta reservation clerk in Cincinnati. Look, Edie, before the boys moved, I didn't, not even once, I swear. But after, I was miserable too. You were so busy with your psychologists and therapists.
How many, Gus?
Guess. Go ahead and guess. You might be pleasantly surprised.
I'm in no mood for your game.
Baker's dozen.
13!
A baker's dozen is only 13.
How many did you think a baker's dozen was? Are you going to answer or not?
What difference does the number make? I was wrong. If it's any use, I'm sorry. I am. Look, Edie, I stopped. I did. I couldn't live like that.
I suspected it. I suspected it all along.
I'm glad I told you. I am. The truth is, it wasn't as much fun as you might suspect.
Aw, it was painful for you. The whole baker's dozen.
One thing I found out is that any woman who goes to bed with a married man has serious mental problems.
You told them you were married?
I didn't lie. Every one of them knew you were my wife, and I was devoted to you.
Well, you should have had them call me. It would have been nice to hear that from someone.
Why didn't you let me make it up to you?
How, by buying me another designer purse?
No, by going to work 5, not 6 days. By coming home early every night. By being with you more and taking you out more.
It's so easy for you. Don't you know what you did?
Hey, what I did, everybody's doing. Everybody's getting more. For an intelligent woman, you sure don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know. I don't. I don't even know what I'm feeling right now. I never expected this. Never.
I learned from what I did. I learned how to appreciate what it is to have a family and a home. We can have a better marriage now. I promise you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Edie, let's go take a walk. Let's get some fresh air. We've been here all morning, huh?
You go. I need to sit here and think. I need to sit here and think about all of this very, very carefully. You, go.
Edie.
Go! Leave me alone.
Okay, I'll leave you alone. I'll bring us back some delicatessen. We'll have a nifty lunch. We'll enjoy ourselves. We'll have fun. Right? I begged you not to play that stupid recording. Didn't I beg you?
Forgiveness and compassion. I now ask the husband to slowly disrobe the wife. I now ask the wife to slowly disrobe the husband. I now ask the wife and husband to lie down on the couch or bed and delight in each other's nakedness. And thus we conclude the first lesson of Dr. Oliofsky's